Greetings and salutations, nerds, geeks, fans of D&D, friends, and mostly family. Welcome to another Ramshackle production, a stream that promises if you watch an episode, you'll politely chuckle at least once. We're a group of friends from various walks of life who have embarked upon this journey to play tabletop role-playing games together. Every Monday night, we're here streaming Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition in a custom-brewed world that we have created, currently set in the Ghosts of Saltmarsh arc. We've got our full cast here tonight, which is super exciting. We've been out for a few weeks, had some tragedies and travels that the party has embarked upon. Also, next campaign name, Tragedies and Travels.
Ooh.
Just happened. So thanks everyone for being out here. Thanks Higdon B7 for the follow. Appreciate that.
Nailed it.
So, the party has all gathered in the town of Saltmarsh for a variety of reasons. We've recently gone to the haunted house to the east of town, cleared that out, made our way back, and last week we had conversations with a number of people within town. It is around 7 o'clock on Tower Day, the 2nd of Pale Sun, and the party has made their way back to the Wicker Goat after their day of activities, during which we discovered some secrets of the weapons cache that's being having weapons dropped off by the Dwarven Anvil, by Jask and Mafara. We discovered some data around Eleander Fireborn and what he found on Captain Ron's ship. He lied, as the party detected he was lying, that he didn't find anything. And Bones is pretty sure that he did find something on the ship. What he found and what that means, we don't know yet. When we last left the party, the two Tritons had spent the bulk of the day at the Temple of Procon, and they have made their way back to the Wicker Goat. The rest of the party just left the Tower of Hullwatch, near the barracks and jail, where a fist fight between Craddock Stonehorn and Bones Bontu had completed, where Bones was able to sweep the leg Johnny, as it were, and bring Craddock to his knees long enough to capture the win and that fisticuff. So we open at the Wicker Goat. It's around 7 o'clock. Fairly crowded in this evening. Folks are enjoying their evening meal, having some drinks. The party is gathered around a table. We open up on that scene. Party, what are
Monsieur
your
Bones.
actions?
Seems very typical you would find yourself putting your opponents on their knees. But it seems you are no worse for the wear after this fight.
Speaking of where, how do you like our new threads we got at the temple?
You assholes.
Very nice, if I have to say so myself.
Yeah, I'm getting my ass beat down at the guard hut, and you guys there flipping your fish, wearing new robes and shit.
As I recall, it was mostly your face.
Well, I need a drink. I am fucking beat. That guy almost whooped my ass. Don't tell him that, though.
So you guys, the evening is yours to do it as you wish. The only obligation you have at this point is at noon tomorrow on Wine Day, you have to meet with Eleander to find out what he discussed with the town council and what information they were able to glean from your prisoner that you brought back from the haunted house. Monastrad had promised to discuss with the council some additional recompense for the party based upon the lie that Valkorn had told her that you had defeated scores of pirates and bandits. I think he rolled it was either nat 20 or a 25, 19 plus bonus of 25, so it was a really high score. So she had said that she would put in a word to the council to grant the party the haunted house and the surrounding lands. So, again, party, what are your actions for this evening? Feel free to talk amongst yourselves. Make your plans for the next day and what's to come.
So we have to meet this fellow at noon tomorrow?
Yeah.
So we have some time to figure some things out.
That's right. There's a few things I'm interested in. The first one would be, I think we've got a whole horde of golden skeletons in the house I'm pretty sure we're about to get. And I'd like to go mine their asses, if you know what I'm talking about. And the other thing that's interesting is I actually forgot to ask Jask where exactly they drop off the weapons that they make for someone I think might be related to the what was his name? Smarty Pants in the house. So those are two things I can think of that I'd like to do before then.
Yeah, the only thing I'm interested in is checking out those ruins outside of town. I know that that what is they called, the shanty, not the shanty, what was it called, the
Strumpet.
strumpet. Yeah, I'm interested in meeting that crew maybe, but we could do that on our way out of town at some point.
Billy, what direction is the ruins from town?
East of town is where the haunted house is. Also, about halfway between the haunted house and Saltmarsh, along the coast, there's a little inlet that you had seen on the way in that could be maybe the source. Yep, he's got the map there. Yep, also got a map. And then further east from there, you had the map marked about 10 miles east of town. So about 6 miles past the haunted house is where Carl had indicated the crew of the Strumpet had set up their camp, their land station, if you will, their land camp.
Yeah, if we're able to get another ship, I'm thinking maybe we could use them and maybe start a new crew.
Yeah, Nimbus is on board with that. We should be trying to amass a force of allies that are like-minded and gather forces and make allies in this region. Do you not agree, my friend? He turns to fellow Triton, bro.
Eris?
Sorry, Eris. Yeah.
As I would agree, it seems perhaps we should find where at least this weapons cache is located, and then make our plans accordingly. But allies on our friends would be a good idea, I think.
Yeah, we did take their merchandise and sell it, but they don't know that, so.
We could potentially use those weapons too to pay the crew or buy the crew, as it were.
Yeah, maybe bring Carl along too. I don't know if he'd want to see them, but
I don't know if that's
Carl is
idea.
Brilliant's man. I say we seek his help at every turn.
Carl, while you guys were away, I don't know if we told you this yet, but Carl, he found a new job, and I don't know if he'd be welcome back with the strumpet, as it were.
yeah, what is he doing again? My head is so fucked from that fight.
He's working at the bar, as far as I remember. And we'd since.
Well, as you say that, you say he's working at the bar, you see Carl actually walking through the door, through this door here, over to the keg, and he's sort of manhandling the keg out of the open slot there, and you see that he has on a little dolly next to him, a new keg, and he begins to switch out the kegs that are sitting in the alcove there.
He's a keg boy. A keg man. Sorry, Carl.
Okay, cool.
Well,
yeah.
Cool. So again, you guys want to just rest for the night? Is there anything else you want to do through the course of the evening? You need to procure rooms for the evening, which will be 1 gold apiece for a room. So you'll all need to add from last time 101 gold. Everyone should be adding to their inventory within the D&D Beyond app, if you have not done so already. That's your split of the haul that you got from Monastrad and selling the kegs of brandy back to the Wicker Goat. So everybody add 101 gold to their inventory.
Well, we didn't agree that we were going to share it with the fish fucks.
Indeed.
I think we actually did.
No, we did not.
The fish fucks?
Yeah, the fish fucks, the Frenchy fish fucks.
All right, we'll fight for it.
Oh,
Hey, you don't know what we're fighting for.
sounds like you're fighting the girl. I don't think it was that complicated.
Oh, fuck off.
So then, everyone also decrement 1 gold for your room for the night here at the Wicker Goat. And then we can fast forward to the morning, or if there's anything else you guys would like to do or discuss this evening.
I looked like the elf kind of nodded off there for a second, so maybe we ought to catch him up real quick. Or maybe not. Let him guess. So tomorrow we're gonna sleep until tomorrow. We're gonna talk to what's his name?
Eliander Fireborn.
Eliander. Yeah, that's right. Eliander. I don't know, waiting for noon, figure out what he'll tell us then, and then we'll make our plans. But the thought was perhaps at one point, we check out the gold and skeletons that we think may or may not be in the basement of perhaps our new stronghold, and also see if we can't recruit the strumpet crew to be our new crew.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, don't we have to have the town meeting before the grounds are bequeathed unto us?
Well, if they're not bequeathed to us, I suppose we could just take them.
Yeah, they're going to have that meeting in the morning, and post the meeting, Eliander is going to meet you guys at the Who Watch Tower. So around noon, midday, he said he would meet you. You guys are welcome to go to the town meeting in the morning, the council. It's an open council session. So you guys are free to do that, or you can just meet him at noon. Your call.
I think we'll go to the
If you
council.
don't mind, I'd like to attend the open meeting.
Let me get my voice
perhaps
ready
we
for the
could,
6 members of the council to speak to each other.
Perhaps we could find some time in the morning to speak to this Jask fellow and ask about the weapons cache.
I think you ought to not call her a fellow, or maybe you should when we go. I'd love to see that in action.
Oh no.
She is pretty buff.
Well, yeah, maybe we'll do that on the way in. I like that idea.
All right, so for expediency's sake, then, just to make sure I was clear on what I heard, the party's going to go to bed for the evening. Everyone's spent a gold on rooms. We will room and food for the evening. We will wake up in the morning. You guys are going to head to the Dwarven Anvil and then the open council session. Was that correct?
Sounds good to me.
All right, I'm seeing
Right.
nods.
Mhm.
All right, great, cool. So the party makes their way up to their 2 rooms after giving your gold over to Lankus. As you're heading upstairs, Carl stops you at the base of the stairs by Corin, and he puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, "I want to thank you once again for what you've done for me here. I've felt the itch to drink most of the day today, but knowing that I have a job and Lankus is putting his neck out for me, he's been able to hold it at bay. So from one old salt to another, thank you."
Oh, certainly. Just make sure that my investment in you is well worth and quite profitable for me if you know it's good for you.
Aye, indeed. I'll keep my ear open and my fingers light.
So Bone sees them talking, and then I'm just gonna go, Carl. Also, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but we're thinking about paying a visit to your old crew out at the ruins, and I was wondering if you had any input on that.
Well, as I said before, Captain John's he's a fat fuck, but he's lithe. He's quite the fighter. So if you back him into a corner, he will strike. I don't know how much of the crew is left with him. There was 9 of us when we were set ashore by those sons of bitches. Just be careful. He's not a kind man.
Okay, you don't think they'd be interested in manning a new ship, do you?
The only way Captain John would probably take a new ship is if it was his ship. I don't know that he would work for another crew, but
Would his crew end up working for a new captain if he were to meet a untimely end?
that crew's loyalty is to gold, and the only reason they're still with the captain is because of promise. Well, at the time, the only reason they were with him is because of the promise of gold that he had given them. One thing I would say, and he leans in a conspiratorial tone and says, "Look for a box. It's about a foot long. I think you might find that of interest."
Right. Here's 5 gold on top of the 10 that I'm paying for his room. Here's another 5 gold. The intelligence that you delivered on the jailer proved quite valuable, as Mr. Bones fucked him a good one.
Yeah, I'm so Carl. You saved my ass back there.
He's quite the fighter, but after that last bout in Honan, I wasn't sure he was gonna walk again. Good for you. He's got a mouth, doesn't he?
Oh God, he was driving me insane.
Yeah. I owe you salt debt, so Best of rest to you. I need to get Lanky here over the corner. Carl, get your ass to work. Nah, I gotta go, and he heads off and starts working again.
Get
Right.
back in the house, Coral.
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 So you guys make your way upstairs to your rooms and bed down for the night, and the night passes without issue. The sun rises on Wine Day, the 3rd of Pale Sun. As you look out the windows of the inn as you wake up in the morning, you see a few clouds in the air and what appears to be it looks like it's going to be a warm day. Very few high clouds in the air. Along the bay to the east, the Salt Marsh Bay, you can see a low fog along the water's edge there, but you can already start to see it's as it dissipates from the shoreline and it kind of goes out into the bay area. You wake up, you guys head downstairs, and as part of your room and board that you paid for the night before, you get a breakfast. Of course, the Wicker Goat has some tasty victuals in the morning for you to partake. They're best known in the morning for their boiled eggs and cashew bread. So, a tankard of mead, boiled eggs, and cashew bread all around are brought to the table.
All right.
And you all, I guess, is the whole party making their way to the Dwarven Anvil at this point?
I would like to have some conversations over breakfast if we can.
Absolutely, yes, please. So you guys have your bread and your mead in your hand, and here you are.
We'll relay any findings that we had in the in terms of the front of the book, and the stuff that we studied while we were at the temple.
So one of the things that they say to you is that
Can you hear me at all?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
So, Nimbus, in your goings on at the temples, and going through and reading through, some of your tomes and your scrolls and the like, you fellas ever seen something like this? And I'm gonna pull out the Precairn's Code. I can identify.
Uh-oh.
We lost him too. We lost him. Yeah.
Yep. Frozen.
He was about to share that he can identify certain characters. Oh, he's back again. He can identify certain characters on the Procan's code.
Okay.
Which is
petrified him.
Which is the code that the nautical code, and he's identified quite a few of the characters.
Oh, okay, cool.
Let us have a look. Can we investigate it? See if we glean anything about it.
Yeah, do Nimbus and Maris have any ability to further derive what the message is with Valkorian's characters that he already unveiled?
So when he shows you the code, you guys none of the books that you found had anything to do with Procan's code, but you, during your course of the day at the Temple of Procon, Welgar Brinehanded, the keeper of the temple, he just prattled on and on about various ships of note, battles at sea that he's aware of. There were certain wreckages of ships that he had information about that if at some point you guys would like to look into that, he can give you the coordinates, or not the coordinates, but how to get to them by following the stars and whatnot to those locations. He also talked to you quite a bit about like Procon and the followers of Procon, and he did mention Procon code. So you're sure that if you took this to him, he might be able to decipher the code for you.
Got it.
One of the things that Nimbus shared with you, Lee, before we lost you on audio, Valkorian, was that in the front of the book of Fulgar of Zonalrath that they had found, where he was writing about the heroes of Zonal, there was a dedication at the front of the book, and it said, "To Kish, Kysh, may you become the hero that you've read of."
Oh, this is very interesting.
Does that name ring a bell for you?
Yeah. Do any of us ever heard of the name Kish before?
Can I do a more involved history check?
Yeah. But while you're doing that, though, you have to readjust because the trinket that you shoved into your is still there. So,
All right. So quick history. That's a +1. Right. So the name rings a bell. I don't have any of the bedtime tales necessarily to regale you with, but I do have quite a whopper here, and I'm going to start fishing into my breeches and pull the trinket out.
Oh
What's-
my!
and as he pulls it out, there's this smell of like
Lavender
lavender and
sausages
roses.
and kisses.
Yes, lavender sausage kisses is what you guys currently smell. But it's a trinket in the shape of I gotta look it up again. Sorry. I think it was in the shape of a whale.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's in
it's a whale.
it's in the shape of a whale, and as he turns it over, you see scrawled in Aquian, which is the language of the undersea, Kish, Kysh.
Hmm.
Sean Connery speaking.
Kish.
Now, Kish.
Yeah, Kish. Pushing.
That's perfect.
All right, so what are we doing, party? You've got this information. You still anything to share on that?
That's all I bring up is just that is there. Try to gauge their reactions.
They look dumbfounded. Is how I would classify their reactions.
Right. So, start bringing up any other mythical titles and sea creatures and see what else I'll pull out of my pants. I think it's kind of the lesson we've learned at this meal.
Yes, you guys are now thinking that maybe Valkorion has a crotch of holding.
Ooh.
How much can fit in there is to be, you can just, not too much though, because then you rip a hole in the interdimensional pockets and then, it's sucked in.
Blessed crotch of holding.
Don't flatter him.
Yeah.
Divine.
So you guys finish up your breakfast, and you make your way over to the Dwarven Anvil. I need somebody to roll me a D100, please, as you make your way across town.
Oh, Warren, these are your people.
What?
Do it.
Oh, I'll do it.
Woo.
74.
Oh no.
Is he
You had
laughing?
to take a break to laugh.
I had to close Zoom. That seems bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you make your way across the bridge and you're passing the green market, you hear a ruckus to your right as a small monkey escapes an enclosure from what appears to be a vendor who's selling a number of pets, and springs behind a barrel, and it jumps onto your back, Warren, and begins to wriggle in between you and your backpack. As it's doing so, the vendor comes out from behind his bar and is looking around because he didn't quite see the angle that the monkey took, and he's looking around. He looks over at you guys and he says, "Pardon me. Have you perhaps seen a monkey?"
You better keep your monkey under control, boy, or I'm gonna gild it in brass.
Oh my! I want no trouble. I mean no harm. I'm simply looking for my monkey. Have you?
Yes, get that monkey under control. It's quite the funky monkey. It will become brass.
Whereas his
If you don't
that's a
get it under
unicorn,
control.
an accordion.
And Nimbus goes and puts his hand on the shopkeep and goes, "I think you better listen to what he says. These are some beastie boys here. You don't want to mess with them."
Inspiration point for Lee and Dan for the yes hands on the musical reference. Thank you, gentlemen. And as you're saying that, the monkey, you hear. Wow, that's a horrible monkey. He pops out over your shoulder, Warren, and jumps from your shoulder onto the ground and starts scurrying down the street. And the shopkeeper goes, "Oh, damn it, Rachel, Monica, we've got to get my monkey!" And then you hear.
I'm afraid we can't be friends anymore.
Well, if we need to know anything about dinosaurs, I think I know who we talk to.
this is your guy. And they go running off down the street chasing this monkey. So you guys continue your way through town. I had a lot of fun writing these town encounters, by the way. Just want to put that out there, and I hope that we do more.
Some would say too much.
So you guys make your way to the center of town. Let me drag the map over there, the town map, so that you guys can all see as you're making your way through town. So just gotta drag it.
Now,
over.
Warren, it's good whenever you have an interesting encounter like this to pad your person down and make sure your valuables are still there.
I don't think I would. I'd look at him kind of confused and not really react to that. Not
Okay.
that kind of a person yet.
No, noted.
Yet.
So
Right.
as you guys round the corner to the Dwarven Anvil from passing the weekly market, and I'll read the description for the folks that are back. The bulk of this open air blacksmith shop is covered with racks of metal goods in various stages of completion. Hooks, nails, harpoons, knives, fishing weights, a few weapons, and some armor can be seen around the shop. A large forge dominates the left side of the stall, and a door that leads into an interior space can be seen behind a large anvil with a clear sign of Dwarven origins. A small shrine to Moradin can be found under the eaves as well, though it is somewhat neglected. And standing at the anvil is a very large female, and the only reason you can tell it's a female is from the side profile. You see the slightest lump of a breast. She has giant hands that appear to be made of stone themselves. As I was telling the party last time, if you imagine the lawyer cousin from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and those hand gloves that he wore, that's how big her hands are. They're twice as big as hands should be, and she's currently smashing a smith's hammer down on some
crab
metal.
legs.
Yeah,
She's opening lobster claws.
yes, exactly.
Do I detect an Adam's apple?
Roll a perception check.
Ooh, he says.
Don't you ruin this for me.
Perception is +1, so... Those 3D dice always get me. 15.
No, you do not detect a Adam's apple.
Oh, fair game.
As we walk up, I'm gonna grab Maris by the shoulder and lead him up and nod at Jaskin. Is Mafara there?
No, you don't see Mafara, but you do hear from the second floor coming out of the window. Oh, my eyes, they stare at the sky, and row your boat, and some weird, mixing 3 or 4 different children's songs together, intertwining one over the other.
Damn. Well, I was gonna introduce you to a friend of mine I think you'd like a lot, but he seems to be unavailable up there. We're just gonna go in real quick, talk to that wonderful woman, and figure out where they send those weapons to, and I'll be right in and out. 5-minute adventure.
And as you walk up
Yes, yes, yes.
to the Dwarven Anvil, she smacks the hammer and she sees you approaching. She says, top of the morning to you, Warren. What can I do for you today?
Hey, so this is a bit odd, and I should have asked the other day, but I might have been a little drunk or something, I suppose. I had a question about those friends you mentioned and where they meet up. We're following up on a lead and curious if, they might not be related to something else that's going on in town that we're looking into.
And she kind of looks around. She says, "Let's not talk about this on the street. Step inside for a moment."
Fair enough. Follow her in.
And she Yeah, she beckons you in, and she's like, it's just a couple miles outside of town. About halfway between here and the haunted house, there's a small inlet that's protected by a strip of land. And there's a sandbar, and I set the goods just behind the sandbar, and then they pick them up from there. And she's like, do you have a map or of town or something I can mark on?
I hold my map up to the camera for her.
Yeah. So she marks on the map approximately where it is. She says, I'm set to deliver another load here in about 11 days. I don't. should I go through with that? Are you going to handle the problem before I have to deliver the? I mean, it would save me a lot of time if I didn't have to finish crafting these.
You do what you normally do. Don't put yourself at risk just for this. We'll keep following up on it. If we solve it, if there is a solution before we come back, I'll let you know.
Okay.
And that's about all I have to say to her.
And as you turn to walk out, she wait one. I've just met you, but you're putting your neck on the line for me and my pa. And as you saw yesterday, he's not right, and I don't want to risk anything. So please, just whatever you do, don't jeopardize what we're building here. This means something to me and him, and I'm counting on you.
You have my word. The worst case scenario is nothing happens. Best case scenario is you're out from under the arm of your little friends. So perhaps, there's no bad place for this to go. Clearly not true, but
if I didn't have to craft this manifest every month, I can't tell you we could do so much more with the shop. I could double the amount I'm producing for the Dwarven Mines. And she just starts so much. She's thinking through what she could do and the thoughts in her head and stuff. Thank you again, Mr. Warren. Let me know before the 14th what next steps we should take. But for now, I'll continue doing what I normally do.
You do that, and next time I'd love for your father to meet some of my friends there. I think they would love him a lot. So next time, let's do that.
Yeah, I don't. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to give him his dosage this morning. I've been busy, but next time you come, when would that be? Do you think?
We'll definitely be here before the 14th if we're coming by. I'll drop by in the morning just to see what's going on.
Okay.
Before we come over, if we do.
Okay. I will make sure that my father's available to meet your friends.
All right. And with that, I'll be on my way.
All right. Great. So, are you guys now making your way to the council hall?
Yeah, and as we walk, I'm gonna point out to them on the map where it looks like probably the same little cove we passed is where she drops off the weapons.
Yeah. So, but was it Bones or Valkorion that was drawn? Was it the map as you guys were navigating the coastline?
So it was Captain Bones.
Okay.
Being the first officer, he dealt with maps more, so he
Scouting
knows,
the land.
and
Yes.
annotation.
Roll me just a base intelligence check then, Devin, please.
Okay.
Bones, sorry. Oh,
17. What's my intelligence? 18.
Perfect. Yeah, he shows you on the map where she's marked, and you're very sure that that's exactly that little inlet you saw. That could be a hidden cove for future perp usage, as Valkorion had called out when you guys were traveling into Saltmarsh.
Ah, yes, that looked like a great place to smuggle stuff. So.
So, Captain Bones, the only real reason I'm after wanting to attend local municipal auspices such as the one we're about to undertake is if there's any public reporting on the impounding of our ship, and if there's anything public that they bring up, about what Captain Ron was acquitted of and sending him on his way. If they discuss anything along the lines, I find it quite fishy, the circumstances that they dismissed him under.
Yeah, his subsequent fleeing, too, was very fishy to me. I never thought Captain Ron would leave me alone, but now I'm all alone.
My ears perk up as they're using fishy as a
Yeah.
pejorative.
Yeah, Maris
Who
and
you calling
Nimbus
fishy?
lean together and go, I don't think these boys like us very much.
All you had to do was watch the ship.
Oh yeah, I forgot to share that with you guys.
Yeah, what?
So when you guys had you had taken the rowboat that you found at the haunted house back to Saltmarsh, and it had all the barrels and stuff in it. And
Who's you guys?
oh, sorry, the whole party had traveled back
Oh,
from
okay.
the haunted house on this boat that you found,
Okay.
called the Tendy's Call now, and Captain Bones is the captain of the ship. Yeah, and Nimbus and Maris had been asked to stay with the Tendy's Call and watch it, and the party I think forgot about you guys. So around midnight, as they're settling down for the night, you guys showed up at the inn and knocked on the door and said, "We are. What do we do now? We don't know." And so that's what. Yeah.
And we had to get a little bitty
sounds
boy to watch
like
the boat because you two couldn't be fucked.
Yeah, they didn't. You
That
guys.
also sounds like us.
And then we told you to watch it again the next day, and then you left again. So.
Yes.
What? Why?
Well, because your didn't make sense that your characters would just hang out in a boat, and so I made you do things on the side, and so yeah, it's all.
And
good.
now we're angry.
Selling inter-party strife as a true DM would.
That's right.
Yeah, what? That's
There's
terrible.
no strife. You guys went to the temple. Everything's fine. These just.
The campaign's called the Age of Strife.
Stop complaining. Learn how to swim.
That's right.
Brandy.
And we had to take a priest's little boy away from him. Imagine how hard that was.
TOS?
I don't. I mean, it's.
Thanks,
it's,
everyone.
It's factual.
Hey, I was an altar boy.
Those
I
are
could do
facts.
whatever I want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are facts.
Oh.
It's in the news. So, you guys make your way to the town council hall. It is this large building in the center of town with the multiple wings on it. And as you round the corner, this large brick building contains many offices. There are 2 guards standing outside the front door with the halberds. There's a wooden sign depicting a net filled with fish. It hangs above the door, and then a small tower rises from the building, and there's a horn at the top of the tower. And as you guys round the corner, you hear, and then you can see a couple of people starting to make their way towards the door of the hall, and they enter. As you're going towards the door, are you guys moving in, or are you going to hang out outside? What's your plan here?
I'd like to kind of blend in to the crowd as they're coming in, and just try not to stick out in there. Not really trying to do anything other than spectate.
Okay. The few people that are trickling in, there's probably about a half dozen or so. They look like fishermen and regular town folk, and you guys are, armed, as it were. And as you approach the door, the 2 guards with the halberd say, "State your name and your business."
Judging by the horn, the cheddar biscuits are coming out of the oven. Just going to come in and enjoy.
The all-you-can-eat shrimp feast was last month. We're in a.
Damn my luck.
Well, doesn't that mean it's Lobster Fest now?
It's no lobster fest. No, they say. So you've got quite the sense of humor. I only ask because you appear to be armed, the lot of you, and while there aren't weapons are allowed in the council hall, I just ask that you indicate to me what your intentions are here.
Yeah, certainly. We are newly appointed workers that are here to guarantee commerce. And so in order to execute our new offices, we are going to have to understand how commerce is being conducted in this local municipality, and just kind of persuade him to, look, dude, we're harmless. Just let us in.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Erleander was expecting us. Like, throw the name out.
And as you mentioned the name Eliander, both guards kind of snap to attention for a moment. Yes, I don't know why we didn't think that you were the group that Eliander had mentioned. It's a turtle and 2 tritons and a sea elf and a dwarf. Yep, clearly the group that he told us would be coming. Please step inside. My apologies, sirs. So you guys make your way in, and there's as you enter the grand chamber, there's a number of pews that appear to be mostly empty. There's 2 or 3 people standing up in a queue, as it were, towards in the center of the room. A semicircle of tables, much like you'd see at like a school council meeting or a town council meeting. It's slightly raised, and there are 5 people sitting behind it. On the far left, you have this older woman who is very wrinkled. She's clearly seen more than her fair share of moons on Egron. Her graying hair is cut short, and she's lived a long life, either on the sea or close to the sea. Sitting right next,
human.
she's human, yes. Sitting right next to her so going around this way on her left-hand side, is a gentleman wearing spectacles, glasses. He has short cropped gray hair. He very dapper dressed, neatly trimmed beard, and particularly Maris, you notice that the cloth that he's wearing on his clothing it's very well cut. He's a man that you could probably have a Chianti with and enjoy his company.
Like Colonel Sanders.
It's Colonel Sanders. Actually,
Yes, I knew it.
Think more John Malkovich than Colonel Sanders.
Okay.
But a well-dressed John Malkovich. Next to
Slash
them,
Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter. Next to
Glenn
them
Beck.
is Eleander Fireborn. Is next to that gentleman. Next to Eleander is Monastrad, and on the far right of the council is a slight man who has very sharp features, sharp cheekbones, sharp brow. His smile is like half of his face is a smile. He has a very toothy smile, and he just very slight man, and he seems very, very charming. Is how you would describe him in the moment that you took to notice.
Well, I need to get that
Mr.
one
Vamp?
sandwich there.
So as you guys enter, the smiling gentleman off to the right says, "Oh yes, your complaint has been heard. We will talk to Farmer Anderson and make sure that his pigs do not cross into your grazing lands. We will have that conversation with him right away. Council, I vote that we bid 1 gold of recompense from Farmer Anderson to Farmer Smith. All those in favor?" And the old woman off to the far left, she has she sounds like Kathy Bates from the one where she breaks the ankles, Misery.
Yeah.
And she says, "Agreed," but certainly not happy about it. The proper gentleman sitting next to her, who does sounds like John Malkovich. In fact, at first he's not really saying. He looks at her and he says, "Agreed." Eleander speaks up. "I am okay with this idea." And then Monastrad, give him the fucking gold. It's fine. Let's move on. Yeah, as you can see, we've got more important business to attend to. And Eleander claps his hands and he says, "Yes, we clear the chambers. The council is going to private session for the rest of the day. Do any council members have problem with us doing this?" And the council all shakes their head no. And the guards come in and escort the people out. You can hear some grumbling under their breath. The guards close the doors, and you guys are standing in the center of the chamber with the 5 council members sitting at the table behind. And excuse me, Monastrad looks at the group and says to the council, this is the party that dealt with the haunted house, as we spoke about in our closed sessions this morning. I'd like to call the council to session and talk through some of the information that Eleander was able to get from the prisoner in his interrogations. So Eleander, if you would share that information with the group.
As he's starting to do that, we're going to kind of shuffle stance. I'm going to elbow Captain Bones. Oh, you see that last there on the left? You know what they say, wrinkled skin, wrinkled sheets, my friend.
God damn it, Valkorian. I don't want to think about that right now.
And so as Eleander is pulling out his notes, your conversation goes fairly unnoticed. Yes, the information I was able to glean from the prisoner. It appears as if you have broken up the land-based operation of a group of smugglers. They, once a month, procure weapons from somewhere here in town. We do not know where. I would like you to potentially look into that, which we'll get to momentarily. And then they take those weapons and they sell them to a tribe of lizard folk. We need you to deal with this. The ship arrives on the 15th of each month. it comes close, and there is some sort of signaling system that the house uses to communicate with the ship, at which point the weapons are ferried from the house to the ship. Sometimes there are goods from the ship that are dropped at the house, but for the most part, this appears to be some sort of weapon smuggling operation. We don't know what they plan to do with these weapons, these lizard folk, but we ask that you look into this issue. The council has spoken, and we have agreed that we will make loan to you a small ship so that you may sail out to the ship when it arrives. We will loan you 2 guards. We have volunteers who will man the ship so that you can board this ship and find out what is going on and deal with this problem. And then the Monastrad chimes in. So as you can hear, clearly we need you to get your hands dirty. I've spoken to the council and we've agreed that, as I promised, if you'll do this for us, not only will we let you have the house and the surrounding lands and write you a deed and give you the property, the ship, if you're able to seize it, will be yours. Any goods you're able to take on the ship will be yours as well. All we ask is that you figure out what they're doing with these weapons. If there's a threat to the town, we need to know so that we can prepare ourselves. We're not a military outpost by any means, but we can reach out to Satan or Burl and perhaps get some reinforcements if we need to. With that being said, what do you say?
I'll look directly over to Captain Bones.
This sounds like I don't think we need to negotiate any further. I was just interested in the goods and the ship, which is what we need to get back on the ocean. So it sounds like we'll be doing each other a favor. When we get on the ship, we'll try to figure out exactly what they're up to. And we'll also, if we can keep anybody alive this time, or maybe not let them go, looking at Warren.
I did nothing wrong.
Oh, fuck. This will be a beneficial cooperated event for both of us.
Do you have any type of intelligence on the ship in question here? What's its displacement? How long is she? What is her crew? What is the disposition of that crew? What kind of information do you have?
The prisoner you captured for us, he wasn't able to give us much. He not much information about the ship. Apparently, he focused mainly on the loading and unloading of the sailboat.
And if it pleases you, Your Grace, how many fingernails does he have left?
Well, I do not believe in torture. We were able to make a promise. The magistrate arrives tomorrow, and I promised him that instead of getting 5 years of hard labor for piracy, he would only get 3 years. He was very receptive to this offer.
Certainly, I am no physician, but I offer up that there are 10 on most people truth zones. And as you peel off the cover of them, the truth just kind of springs right out. You'd be amazed what you can learn from people.
And the gentleman on the far right, oh, that sounds barbaric. And his words sound like he's in shock, but you can see the corner of his mouth kind of curling up a little bit.
Don't be moistening your knickers over my accounts.
Oh, indeed. And then Eleander's, quiet, Anders. So, with this offer to you, I ask again, I repeat what Manasrat has asked of you. Will you take upon this for us and deal with this problem and let us know what we are dealing with?
Well, I'm gonna speak up at this point because it sounds like what you're asking us to do is to make enemies of a group of pirates, and you don't want to have any traceability back to us in case it's some large set of pirates. And I just I'm not so sure that this is something we'll just do for you. What is the council offering us?
What if they offer you? Is that what you're saying to me? You would?
Yeah, I'm asking that question because look, we could go do anything, and piracy pays well. As I've heard, not that that's something I'd like to do, but you're asking us to put our lives on the line for for nothing. It seems like to me, other than the potential of a ship.
I don't know that you know exactly what the potential of a ship is there, Wee One. As you seem to have been on the land locked here. There's great enterprise to be had with a ship that could bear that kind of cargo load to and fro. I'm willing to throw in with Captain Bones. I'm hoping your axes thrown or used in a chopping motion would also be pledged to these efforts, as pirates need to get cut up at multiple altitudes.
And the John Malkovich looking fellow adjusts his glass. I think what your friend is saying is that he'd like for you to say, "and my axe."
Well, I should tell you, I sold the axe, not all of them. But I suppose I'll see this to the end.
And the older woman on the end speaks up. Now listen here, boys. I tell you, we don't take kindly to pirates. We don't want any trouble. If these pirates are allowed to run loose, King Honan's going to send more of his troops down here, and Saltmarsh is going to end up looking like Seaton, and it's going to be a damn military outpost. I will not abide my lovely little town turning into something like that. Now you deal with this problem, because we don't have the folk to deal with it, and you deal with it right.
Have you considered building a wall?
Well, they have one out there by the gate on the.
There's remnants of a wall out there. You saw what happened. There's old Saltmarsh is what this town was built on, and we don't want to end up like them. Now I don't know what them pirates, how big they are, or what they're dealing with. You handle this problem for us, and all that's yours.
Don't you worry about it. We're going to take care of the problem. But I think, to my friend Warren here's position, though, is that we're going in there without anything. Is there anything that you guys can supply to us? Any sort of weaponry, anything that we might find useful before we get on this? Any sort of provisions, any sort of, how about you pay first half of it and then we take the rest later?
Complete total lie, I'm nodding.
The young guy on the end, the sharp-looking featured man says, "Indeed, Eleander. Perhaps we had talked earlier about maybe we allow them to purchase goods at half the charge from my shop on the other end of town. I would gladly take half of the money from the council and half the money from these fine individuals." And then the old woman says, "Now you listen here, Anders. We already done talked about it. We will take out of the town inventory and provide to them what they need to handle this. We don't truck with pirates. We don't want to deal with this." Leander says, "Yes, I have 2 volunteers that will gladly handle the ship so that we can make sure you're able to get out there and deal with the problem."
Mr. Aleander, if you would permit me, do you understand how an anchor works?
I was a mounted knight in King Honan's army for many years. I know what a boat is, but I would rather not be on one.
So an anchor is dead weight that drags along the seafloor and makes all progress of a boat stop.
Aye.
No offense, but it seems like that's what your boys might be doing, seeing as though they're not exactly up on our level. From what I've seen, at least, I've been thinking this may be better for the cloak and dagger types. Now, do you have that skill set amongst your men? I don't want to lead any 2 individuals off to their doom.
My men have very strict instructions to pilot the ship out to the rendezvous point, allow you to board, and then stay nearby so that you may beat a hasty retreat if you need. They will not engage in combat except for to defend themselves should the enemy try to seek to board the vessel that they are a part of. They are merely soldiers, town guard. I do not have this dagger and cloak that you speak of.
Right, so do we know about these pirates? If they are more smugglers and are only looking to receive and exchange cargoes, or do we think that they might be more the pirate type that would opportunistically seek after a ship that perhaps may look as if it's in distress?
I know not this information. The gentleman was only able to tell us that the ship appeared to be about the size of a normal cargo ship. That's what he could see from the shore where he was stationed. He never took the trip from the house to the ship. I do not know.
And besides the 10 truth centers at the tips of the fingers, there's also another 10 on the toes that are underneath the boots. We might be able to get more information. Just let me have a talk with the lad.
The old lady off to the end says, "Now, Eliander, this boy seems like he might have some way of getting some information out of him." Monastrad chimes in, "We aren't fucking torturers. That's we don't truck with that kind. That's the Lakeland way. We're Honin. You don't do that. The dwarves don't have no part of it either."
Okay, I'm gonna hold my hand up. I'm gonna say, "Good sirs, give us one moment."
I'm a female, you fuck. Yeah, I'm a woman too. What are you talking about?
Good counsel, people. I'm
The
sorry
sharp-eyed
to
gentleman at the end says, "Oh, yes, good counsel, people. That is indeed who we are. Yes."
Yes. Okay. Give us one moment, please. Okay. Crew huddle. Let's huddle up real quick. So we turn away from them.
All right.
Okay. What are you guys, Warren? You Valkorian. You fish fucks. What are you guys thinking about this?
I'll join you, but my one request is that we don't turn in Jask and her father. They're just honest folk trying to make a living, and I don't want to see them come to harm.
No, that goes without saying.
Right. I don't think we gain anything by disclosing that element of it. And I'm a bit concerned that we're dragging along dead weight. We need to keep them in the dark as much as possible.
I agree. I think that it is our first step toward amassing a fighting force and becoming the saviors of this region that my companion and I came here to be. And if we can secure a seafaring vessel and start to amass a platoon of warriors, then that is the trajectory that we have come to seek. But I will defer to the group the manner in which you choose to approach this. If I was this council, I would blow up the ship from a distance and be done with all of the mess. But we are in a unique position to capitalize on their generosity and take all of the goods and the vehicle itself.
So I'm wondering if we don't do something along the lines of a honeypot. You ever heard about that in your book reading there, Nimbus?
We do not have honey hundreds of leagues beneath the surface, no.
You don't have sea bears.
Yeah, then you haven't lived, my friend. So I'm thinking,
clubs.
what I'm thinking, Captain Bones, we go to that alcove where they go and receive, said inventory that Warren's been talking about. We have either the Tindy's call or this other vessel that they're wanting to give us. Since the vast majority of us, well, all of us but Warren, can breathe the good green sea, we could be underwater, and then as they approach it in order to take it over, Warren can be on board and start harassing them in negotiations. And then as they go to board, we're able to sneak on there, kill their leaders, string them up, start cutting little pieces from them, and demoralize everybody else in the region.
That sounds like the perfect plan, but we're not doing strategies. We're trying to figure out if we're going to take the goddamn mission or
yet. No. This is a chance for us to fillet these bastards.
Okay. And the final fish, you're down for this?
But of course, a ship would be quite nice, and we need it. Our research has stalled since we haven't been able to leave this town, so it is quite necessary for us. But I do the gory detail of my friend Valkorian's plan seems to be an interesting one at that.
Yeah. Okay, well, it sounds like it's settled then. So I'm turned back to the council. Okay, good council people. We accept your offer. We will take this mission on. We would like to get whatever provisions that you can provide beforehand, and we will deal with this pirate problem that you're dealing with.
Very, very good. If you're making your way to the Who Watchtower, I will provide for you what goods it is that you need. Simply make a list and leave it with the guards outside the council hall. The ship shall arrive on the 15th, which is about 11 days' time from now. In the meantime, we will continue to question this prisoner Whose name we have not asked. Someone should really ask this man his name.
God damn it.
Oh, and the haunted house, that's ours.
When you return from this, the house, the ship, anything you're able to gain from the cargo hold or the deck of the ship shall be yours. Yes, it is.
And we can go set up there now in case we need to use the house in order to procure the ship.
Yes, in fact, I would suggest that this man, again, his name we should ask. He said that on the 15th the ship arrives. There is some code sent from the ship. That code then is answered with a code from the land. Then the sailboat makes its way from the cave to the ship, shortly off the shore there a little bit. So, this code, the prisoner said that you have procured some document. I would suggest you speak to Welgar Brian-Handed. He should be able to decipher any nautical codes that exist if you're unable to do it yourself.
You paint a very complete picture of the intelligence that you have gathered, and we certainly do appreciate.
Yes.
I did not have to take any fingernails off either. You see, my young sea friend, it is not always required to hurt to get information.
But it is
We
more
should-
fun.
Play a game of Fire Knuckles with them. Fire Knuckles is a great way to get even more information and hear very clever ways for them to use their native language.
You and I should spend some time together. I think maybe I can help you. You are disturbed, my friend. But
Right.
I do like you, though.
I like me too.
Well, is there anything else you need? You've got us at your disposal. We need to wrap the closed session here so that we can allow the citizens back in and any requests that they might have of us.
I'm gonna lean over and
What types of implications would come up if we were able to improve any other businesses in the area with your mining efforts?
Oh, we should talk about that outside of this. The mining operation, outside of the dividends that I pay back to the council, I head it up directly. And as I've shared with friend Warren, I definitely think that there's some work for you in clearing the road and helping with that work. We're not quite ready to set off on that yet. We're still procuring the materials that we need from the surrounding area. But
Right.
perhaps in the next month or so, we'll start that in earnest. In the meantime, if there's anything that you need from me, you can find me at the mining company headquarters or at the Wicker Goat. You know what I mean, Warren?
yeah, unless I may have a need for some smithing supplies. Could you perhaps provide me with materials if I feel so inclined?
Of all the fucking things that you need, you think a forge worm, needs smithing supplies? What are you gonna bungle some crafting that you're in your downtime? What do you?
I think you'll be quite surprised by what happens in a generation.
Consider me not convinced. But
Well,
we said we'd provide you what you need, so Eleander, if the man needs smithing supplies, if it's on the list, hit my dwarves up, we'll get you covered. Yes, in fact, we'll do that. So again, leave the list with the guards at the door. If there's nothing else, we shall adjourn.
Anders, where's your shop at?
Oh! Yes, my shop. I can tell you that it's just outside of my manor on the other side of town. And he kind of points back over there, and I'll show you guys where it is in the map here in a minute.
Okay.
I have to look it up.
Right. Perhaps I might be paying you a visit.
Yes, in my compound, we have the largest mansion in all of the town. And one of my compounds, we have a small shop set up for passers-by and folks of that sort. I would gladly have you talk to my man, and he might be able to assist you.
I think the way that we measure a man may be a bit different, but certainly I'm looking forward to the conversation.
What the hell's his name? Yes, Scarin Wavechaser, my manservant. He will definitely help you with any procurement of various sundries that you may have need of, and I will only charge you half price.
Right. He's like a cabin boy, as it were.
Well, he's nigh on a century old, but yes, like a cabin boy, but about 90 years older.
cabin man.
Captain Old Man is what I call him.
Well, you know, as they say, the older the lute, the sweeter the music. Am I right, miss?
And Ida on the end goes, I like this boy. Cool. So with that, Eliander says, well, in that case, you are dismissed. And check in with me at the whole watchtower and with your list, and I will provide these things for you. And
Thank you, Council. But you could can we make a base of operations somewhere? Would we do that? Is that a
haunted
D&D
house.
thing? Yeah.
yeah,
Just gonna relate it to them that our base of operations, if they do find any more information, will be at the haunted house.
Yes, noted. You'll head there. In the meantime, before that time, will you be staying in town, or will you be heading northeast immediately?
We're currently at the Wicked Goat, and we'll be heading to go about on an extended reconnaissance momentarily. Will there be minutes of the other elements of your closed session this morning? Say, for instance, any of the occurrences with Captain Ron?
Make a perception check, Lee.
Oh, fuck. Using my inspiration.
Okay.
Good call.
Right, 20.
So
yeah.
as you say, Captain Ron, you notice that Eliander shifts uncomfortably in his seat for a moment before quickly regaining his composure. As this captain that you came in with, we had a warrant for his arrest. We were to search his ship for any contraband or smuggled goods, and we were unable to find anything, so we had to release him. He left town almost immediately.
Yeah, I understand that, but clearly, since all of this is above board, you would have paperwork and documentation of search and seizure procedures and a evidence locker of things that may have been collected.
As I said, there was nothing found. Perhaps when you come to procure your goods, we can go through the paperwork that I do have, and we can talk about it at the tower.
Certainly, and perhaps I could visit the apothecary, as it seems that seat you're sitting in is a bit uncomfortable. Might be able to get you something for those sea hemorrhoids.
With that same perception roll, you see the old lady off to the left side of the council. She kind of grabs her chin and she's pulling on it, and you notice that like there's one long black hair coming out of her chin that she starts to pull on and kind of tug out a little bit.
Oh, yes.
And she's definitely she's contemplative about this. Yes, I do not know this apothecary problem that you speak of, but when you find me at Tulwat Tower, we will look through my records and discuss this evidence locker that you ask about. All right, and with that, the gavel clangs. The guards open the door. A few folk that have been waiting outside begin to trickle in as you guys make your way out of the council hall. Party. It's about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. It's still before noon. The sun is cleared away all the fog out to the harbor to the east. It's about mid 70s. Really nice day. What are your actions?
He did mention. Sorry.
Do you boys think that we have work to do to outfit the formerly haunted house to make it our base of operations? Or do you have more pressing matters before we begin this undertaking?
Yeah, I thought the council mentioned somebody, and I think they were clicking out, so I didn't really hear them that well, about somebody who could translate the
codes.
God, Brian-handed. I heard it perfectly.
Well, we might want to see him at some point. We got a little time, but
I could go and inspect the house and see what it might need as far as stonework and masonry and the like, and then perhaps go talk to Jask about building, some things we might need.
Aren't we missing a foundational step number one, Like, what the fuck was scraping at the walls, banging at the doors, and everything behind the locked door? Shouldn't that get remedied first? Or then sturgeons flying around in the attic?
Yeah, I'm worried about the sturgeons too.
We could make the two lads Eliana's giving us take care of the sturgeons, but the banging, that's a problem.
Well, they're behind a door. We could come up with some plan once we get there, and we'll maybe file them out one by one.
You mean like opening the door?
Yeah.
All right, sounds like a plan.
We need to just get out there and get that taken care of so we have plenty of time to be able to set up and be prepared for getting Captain Bones a proper vessel that is fitting of his title.
I think we do need to be wary while we're out there, though. We want it to seem, we don't want them to take any notice that we've taken control of the house. So if we do stay there, we can't change much until the 15th at least.
Right.
You know,
It would
if
be
the
nice to fight these pirates on a full stomach and 8 hours rest, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we have 11 days until they show up, so we got plenty of time to prep. We could take care of the skeletons. We could go talk to Wilgar. I could perhaps fashion a chain net, and we could stab at whatever comes out of that thing and let it out of the door and see what holds it there. There's a lot of things we could do in the 11 days.
You're a right kinky one, aren't you, Warren?
Whips and chains excite me. Just call me.
Nimbus goes, I miss.
Just
I
call
miss
you Alejandro.
harpoons. Yeah.
We have a dwarvish word for it. It's Rihanna.
Right.
Sorry, you were saying something, Nimbus? My apologies.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. I was cutting out and forgetting how to do a French accent.
That's okay.
Nimbus says he misses harpoons.
Okay.
Well, I'm feeling like another good fight. If y'all feel like going to get those skeletons.
I like the way you say that. I think that's the new way that's pronounced.
Yeah, it's skeletons.
Skeletons.
Skeleton.
That's how we say it in the Tortle area.
I like
where
it.
I'm from.
All right.
All
So
right, so let's make a decision on what equipment we're going to need, and we may need to ask for a stay until we've fully investigated everything that's out there. So perhaps we can go to Eliander and tell him we need to clear the area a little bit more before we'll know exactly what we need. It still may be worth us bouncing over and talking to Anders and seeing if there's any more quality equipment. I'm fearful that the quality of steel that we might find amongst these sheep people might not exactly be the quality we need to kill these men.
Well, luckily you've got a blacksmith with you. I'll take a look at anything that comes up.
It doesn't seem like Lady Ministrations has much confidence in your smithing capabilities.
Lady Ministrations is full of old fucking dwarven bullshit. There is nothing merit-based in the way she thinks about the way a man makes things, and it's all honor and title and bullshit.
There seems to be a lot of shit in your recalling there. So what do you say, chaps? Do we feel like a good stretch of the legs and killing whatever's out in our new home? Or do we want to try to politic a little bit here around town and see if we can improve our resources?
Billy, could you point out where Anders' shop is before we make a decision?
yes, I can. This is Anders' manse.
It's on the way out of town.
Yeah, on the way out.
It's half price and at least worth a look around, I think.
And they'll start a manifest of all the things I think we need. So far, I've got steel ingots on there, probably about 20 or so, just for whatever we might need.
Well, we're going to need some lumber in case the ship is damaged in any form or fashion. We'll need some linens for sails, extra rope to make sure everything is seaworthy. Likely need some grappling hooks for boarding, or at the very least scaling the sides of the vessel. Again, us not knowing, larger than a cargo ship, this could be quite a formidable vessel that we might be up against. So anything we can do to catch them unawares Maybe that's outfitting dummies and having them standing on the top deck as it's drifting out and about, or if we're trying to deliver something and we've got crates full of our people. There's plenty of ways to be able to get surprised and just murder the ever-living shit out of these fucks.
You're right. On the manifest, I've added a plan because that's what we need, and then we'll make
Right.
the inventory. But I've got everything you said. As far as I heard, it was London limber, 50 feet of rope or more, grappling hooks, and a plan. The plan was the most important part.
Yes, definitely the plan. Let's not get ahead of ourselves and start buying like lumber for a ship we've never seen yet.
As I recall, it was free as long as we play our cards right.
Yeah, exactly. But we want to see it first. Yeah. We don't know what it needs.
You say you want to see the wood first.
Perhaps it would be advantageous for us to then stop by Anders, see if there's anything we need to help clear the house out, and then maybe at the house we could do some more thorough investigating and maybe learn more about the vessel.
Yeah, and come up with a plan after we take care of these skeletons. Skeletons. One thing at a time.
Plan to make a plan. I like it.
Yep.
Plans are quite overrated, but I'll go with you there for. So onward to Anders.
All right. So you guys make your way across town to the Stalmar house. Somebody roll me a D100, please.
I got assaulted by David Schwimmer last time we did this, so someone else do it.
I'll recommend Nimbus.
Got it.
Too late.
Oh, already done.
38.
38.
Oh. So as you pass, you guys immediately as you leave the council hall, the weekly market to the south is arrayed. You see a number of stalls set about. Excuse me. There is a gentleman that yells out to you. Excuse me, sir, you with the ears. Yes, the sea elf, sir. Would you be interested in procuring for me some items? Lee, roll me a D12, please.
Ask him what he
It's
is selling.
What are you buying?
What are you selling?
Yeah, exactly. 10. I have various trinkets available, and I will sell them to you for quite the discount. Simply step over into my stall and let me show you my goods. And as he twitches a little bit every time he talks. He's kind of like, he's clearly got some sort of nervous thing.
Oh, this seems like my kind of person.
And as you walk up, you follow him over to his stall because it's right on the corner there, so you didn't have to step very far, a couple of steps. The stall is there's just a bunch of haphazard goods set about. There's pieces of jade. There's some small bracelets. There's some amber stones. There's some carved wood that could be toys, but they're shaped in various animals and whatnot. There's obviously some animal teeth and some animal claws. It's just an assortment of trinkets across his table. So essentially, if you can think of something you'd be interested in, we'll just roll to see if it's there.
Right. So I'm looking for some type of ornate earring. Now that we are soon to be coming into a home base, I've never truly had a landlocked home, thus never had a reason to inscribe on the back of an earring that would be enough to commune my bodily remains to the other side. Someplace, an earring that's ornate enough to be able to pay for my funeral expenses. Would he have something like that?
Yeah.
Waterhead with the nervous twitch. That's your name, right? Because you pointed out the most obvious thing on me. I figured I'd give you just treatment.
Oh, you! I am very much looking forward to making this sale for you. So I have right here, and he pulls from the underneath the table. This comes from a great white shark of the southern reefs, and it's this beautiful tooth, shark tooth. It ends in like a razor point. It's been softened a little bit, so it's not quite you don't touch it and cut your hand, but it's definitely has an edge to it. Gleaming white. Clearly that he spent some time polishing this. This tooth I will gladly sell to you for 1 gold piece.
So I don't know if you can notice this. I'm a rather large individual. I need something to call attention away from these big ears and call attention directly to the earring. Can you gussy it up a bit, if you catch my meaning?
If you give me until the end of the week, I will wrap some copper around this and put some adornments on it, and I will sell it to you for 2 gold pieces.
Make it 3, and I want my breath stolen from me, or else yours will be stolen for good.
Consider it done. My name is Thaddeus McGaddius. Pleasure to meet you.
I'm sorry, I
That's
only shot
unfortunate.
at Jared.
Should have gone with Jared. God damn it, that's really good.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. So by the end of the week, I will have that ready for you. Please check back in with me then. In the meantime, I bid you a good
Here's
day.
a gold piece in case you need to procure materials.
Well, thank you. That is well noted. You, sir. What was your name, sir?
My name is not important.
Not important. It was quite the pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much for the down payment. I will have your goods ready for you by the end of the week.
Right.
Cool. So you guys make your way over to the large manse that's the Salmar house. There is a stall outside of a wooden shop on the edge of it, and when you go in, it's everything that you could potentially need from the player's handbook. It's all very well made stuff. There's no bonuses or anything from it, but like the rope is like brand new rope. The pitons are like well polished and brand new. Like there's nothing that's been used. So you guys talk amongst yourselves about what it is that you might want to procure, and I'll be back in 90 seconds because I've got to take a piss.
Right.
90 seconds. I started a timer.
Well, there's nothing that I need right now without, knowing if we need to make repairs or anything.
I want a grenade. You think they have grenades here? They use them in the,
If you will it, they will come. I wonder if having so the way I'm thinking about the honeypot going is put me in like a dress and I'll put on like a damsel in distress thing going on.
Oh, I love
And,
this.
Have some fireworks or some shit we can shoot off from my boat. I'll be in the little boat, light that shit on fire. I don't know, that kind of shit. I want to do something like that. I think
smoke bombs.
if you guys are into it,
fireworks.
yeah, just make me like a fucking.
I'm thinking all the
Monstrosity.
water-breathing types will hold on to the keel.
Mhm.
Potion of water
Sail
breathing.
underneath it.
Well,
And,
you have 2 of us who just straight up can.
all 4 of us. Everybody.
Or
but the
yeah,
dwarf.
sorry, yeah.
I rolled the dwarf in a sea campaign.
Apparently, though, turtles are terrible swimmers.
Billy, you got 30 seconds. Go away.
What?
I timed your pee.
Oh, I didn't wipe, so
Aw.
you're all thinking through that. I can see.
Oh.
The math
Aw.
adds up.
So what was it you guys decided that you needed from the shop? Anything?
Any type of filleting knives, very sharp for dressing fish.
Absolutely.
Smoke bombs.
Yep.
For dressing fish.
I can dress
Yep.
myself.
I'm worried that none of the fish players picked that up.
There is a nice set of filleting knives that has both a long one, a short one, a little paring knife. You can get the whole set for 3 gold.
Done.
Done. Okay, so add a fillet knife set to your inventory. What was it you had said, Bones?
I'm looking for grenades or smoke bombs or anything that blows up.
Unfortunately, we don't have gifts of that, or not gifts, but sorry, items of that sort at this shop.
Come on.
And as you're saying that, a small boy comes running through the door, and he has a slip of paper in his hand, and he goes up to the guy behind the counter and hands him a slip of paper, and he unfurls it. And says, "Oh, you are the group that Anders sent over to chat with me. We have certain items that we could make available to you. Smoke bombs. So you're looking for something that could create a cloud of smoke in a small area?
Yeah, exactly. Something to cause confusion.
Ah, yes. Just a moment. He goes, in the back room, and you hear some good boxes being moved around and stuff. And he comes out, and he puts on the counter 3 small spherical devices that have a short, about a 3-inch wick coming out them. And he sets them on the counter, and he says, "Now these 3 things will create a cloud of smoke with about a 15-foot radius. It dissipates very quickly. But if you light the fuse and you wait for about 6 seconds, a 15-foot cloud of smoke will evoke forth from the device, and it'll stay there for just a little bit."
Sounds pretty good. We are here on order from the council, so if you have any
Yes.
other hidden items or things that you are keeping from us, we're here for the good of the whole town. So.
Well, Anders Salmar is known for being one of the largest traders on the southern shore of the Kingdom of Honan, so you'd have to be more specific as to what the things that you'd be looking for are.
Okay, well, as it comes for this, I'm taking these bombs.
That is good. Anders said that the town council would pay for half of this, so if you're able to give me 15 gold, those 3 smoke bombs are yours.
Taking them.
You have anything along the lines of a looking glass, something to be able to see things from a distance?
Yes. That is quite an expensive item, though. I don't know that you would be able to afford that. Give me just a moment. And he goes into
What the fuck exactly are you saying, sir?
He's profiling you.
I think it's because I think it's like 1,000 gold for a looking glass.
I just need to know if there's one on the premises.
Do you remember what it's called in the player's handbook, Lee?
I believe looking glass.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure.
Planar looking glass. That's the one you want, right?
Spyglass. Yes, it is. It is
Spyglass.
1,000 gold. He comes out, and he has it's about a 1.5 long wooden case. It's a very nice polished redwood, and he opens the seal, and sitting inside on sort of a bed of silk cloth is a very nice looking glass. And he shows it to you, and he says, "Now this Salmor procured from the Empire of Dolonte. It is quite the looking glass, but I can't let it go for any less than 500 gold pieces."
Cool.
How long did you say the box was?
It's about a 1.5 feet.
Would my character remember a 1.5 foot long box? I don't think so.
You would. It was meant. You were told to look for about a 12-inch box by Carl. Yeah. This is bigger than that. I was told to sell you goods at half. I don't think that you have the funds. Do you have 500 gold on hand?
Well, I don't know that this is the quality of item that I'm certainly after.
Okay.
You may put it back, sir.
Thank you. He takes it and puts it back.
And Miss goes, "The fish fucks certainly don't have 500. Be right back 1 second.
I'm rubbing 2 buttons together. Like,
And it sounds like a tiny violin.
Anything else you guys need from the shop before we head out?
Fireworks. You got any fireworks?
I'd like to see the prices of your dresses that might fit a dwarf, fireworks, a jeweler's kit, and
a wig.
Oh, my hair's pretty long.
Jeweler's kit's going to cost you 12.5, so you can definitely get that right away. When you ask about fireworks, he says all he has is those smoke bombs, which he's already sold you what he had available. What was the address? Sir, we are not we don't deal in textiles here. I could certainly have someone run down to the weekly market and see if they can procure you a dress, but I don't believe.
Preferably something in a gingham pattern. It would go for the apples on his cheeks much better.
Yes, I can. Would you like me to do that for you?
Look, I get that you're old, but you can see that I have legs, right? I can walk down to the market myself, and I'll do that on my own time.
Okay. Anything else that you need? Devin, you'd asked about fireworks. He says the same thing about the smoke bombs back to you.
Yeah. Does anybody need any armor or anything like that, or?
I might check out the potion. Like we have a potion of healing. I'll see if they have anything like that.
Yeah, he does have potions of healing, and he says he can let them go for 30 gold apiece. They normally run for 50.
Oof.
Oh well, last I remember we were getting half off here. I
Aye,
can't see that piece of paper.
But healing potions are at a premium, my friend.
Oh, is that what he said? I think I'll have to remember that. I've got one of those, so I don't want one.
I'll take one for sure.
That's out of character.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So if you're gonna buy a healing potion, he's gonna sell them to you for 30 gold apiece. So if you guys need any of those, deduct 30 and add a healing potion.
I'm taking that jeweler's kit, by the way.
Got it.
I'll buy one.
Got it.
I'm down to 85 gold.
Cool. Yeah, I trust you guys to manage your gold and stuff.
Oh wait, shit! I added instead of removed.
I don't
can I
trust
do
you guys
that
to
too?
manage your gold.
So 1250, you said, right?
Yeah, 12 gold, 5 silver for the jeweler's kit. Will there be anything else, gentlemen?
That's it for me.
All right. Okay, so you guys make your way out of the shop. What are your actions at this point? You're coming up on past lunchtime after the shopping and the bartering and stuff.
Let's go check out that basement, or that thing near the basement.
I mean, do we need to eat? You know.
No, I just assume that you're in town, so I'm assuming that you get something from the street market. It's fine.
Okay.
Yep. Nimbus. Everyone's left the shop and they've decided that they're going to head out to the haunted house. Is that correct?
Yes.
Cool.
All right. Marching order as you guys move east on the road. Just one through. Where are you guys at in order?
I'll be in the front.
Scout out ahead a little bit of
You're
the
at ahead.
group.
Then Warren.
I'll be in the
and
front
off
of the
the
party.
road.
Yep. Got it.
I'll be on the road, probably singing a dwarven song, not a shanty. We don't have shanties.
Okay, I'll be behind Warren.
Copy. Nimbus and Eris.
I'll be last.
How does this work?
Cool.
Yeah,
Nimbus and
I'll
Eris.
just pull up the rear side by side. Yeah.
Great. Valkorian, as you're making your way east, are you on the forest / hillside, or are you on the coastal side?
I would silhouette more on the forest side, so I'd be on coastal.
Okay.
And then potion of healing. I only see greater, superior, and supreme.
They should be there. I think it's just called, if you just search in equipment, not magic items.
Yeah, I got a potion of healing. Yeah.
Oh, did you steal his? There were only 2 in the house.
What?
No, they just bought some for 30 gold apiece.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yep.
Right.
Cool.
Because it's not 44.
No,
plus
it's 2d4
4.
plus 2.
Yeah, it's 2d4 plus 2.
So what's the nomenclature on it?
It
Potion,
just says
of,
potion
healing.
of healing.
Potion of healing.
I'll drop it in Discord. A link.
All right, so you guys make your way east
get a link.
out of Saltmarsh, heading towards the haunted house. I need someone to roll me a D100, please.
Who hasn't rolled one yet?
I'm
I did
on
the
it.
last one.
Yep. 29.
29. So as you're making your way out of town, and about a mile out of town, you're heading towards the haunted house. Rounding a bend in the road in front of you, you see 3 gentlemen wearing woolen cassocks, and then slightly behind the 3 older men wearing cassocks are 2 younger men wearing simple brown robes. And as you guys, they're heading straight towards you, and as you approach, the 3 men, their hands are in their sleeves like this, and they all dip their heads slightly at you as they continue to walk past you. The young men behind them, seeing the elders in front doing that, also bow their heads slightly. As they pass, you notice that all 5 of them, the front halves of their head are shaved, and the only thing that isn't shaved is a patch of hair at the crown of their head. All 5 of them are similarly cut on their heads.
Would my character recognize? They're humans, right?
They're all 5 human. Yep.
Would my character or do I recognize what they are? Like as far as like a religious thing?
Roll a religion check. Yeah.
All right.
And if anybody else would like to roll a religion or a history check, you're welcome to. But
4.
They look like dudes with weird haircuts.
You guys, look at these dudes with
Fail.
weird haircuts.
Maris, is that your roll, the 15?
No, that was mine. But I don't. What? I'm checking with religion.
Or religion or history, either or.
History. Okay, let's see. History +1, so 16. Ooh.
Yeah.
20 on history.
Okay. So both of you both have traveled the oceans, the seas of Egron quite a bit, and you recognize them as being followers of the Ion, the goddess of knowledge, skill, and prophecy. And with the way that their hair is cut, it's actually a sect of, it appears to be monks that follow Ion. Their order is referred to as the Fist of Knowledge.
Land monks.
Muscle wizard cast fist.
Give yourself an inspiration
Land
point,
monks.
Mike. That was fucking gorgeous. Land monks. They continue past you as they do pass Valkorian and Bones. Between they've taken a vow of silence. These monks don't speak to anyone. They only communicate through writing.
Hey,
bet you
Warren,
can get one
I've
of them
got
to
the
speak.
perfect club for you to join, Warren.
What is it? Since I don't know anything about these people.
All right, you guys continue down the road with no further interruptions or passing anyone else, and you make your way back to the haunted house.
I'd like, before we get too close, I want to see if there's any signs of a disturbance.
Yep.
Based upon how we left it, if anything's changed.
Yep. Make a perception check. What is the rest of the party doing while he's doing this?
Whistling and walking.
Okay.
Just walking.
Yeah, it's a 7.
Yeah, you don't notice anything untoward around the house. Everything seems to be quite like you left it.
All right, boys, get prepared. We're gonna be heading in. Them sturgeons upstairs may have been riled up, so be prepared as soon as we enter in. And I'll have a arrow knocked in my bow as I walk forward.
I'm gonna add the things he says to the song I'm singing. Say, "Be prepared."
That's nice. Anyone else doing anything else disposition-wise before you move into the courtyard around the?
Nimbus will ready a sacred splash if there are hostiles on the other side of the door.
Okay.
I'm gonna slap the water skin on my belt and look back. Hey, Nimbus, do you need a top off?
And Nimbus slaps his gut and goes, "I am always topped off."
That's awesome.
All right. So you guys make your way back into the grounds of the house. Where is our last character? Who are we missing here? There you are.
There's a whole part of the house we forgot to check out.
Right.
Really?
Yeah. So party.
He says a little angrily.
You
The DM fails his deception roll.
you all have arrived back at the haunted house. What are your actions?
I'd like to listen to see if I can hear any of them sturgeons fluttering about.
What was the last perception roll you made? Was it?
I made a 7 to look and see if there was
Yep.
anything changed about the house.
Yeah, make another one, please.
That's a 15.
Yeah, you don't hear the sturges moving about, flying about, or anything. It seems to be quite peaceful. You hear the breeze coming off of the coast, the occasional gull flying around, but outside of that, it all seems to be peaceful.
All right, we killing what's upstairs or what's downstairs first, Captain?
I'm thinking downstairs, but we might as well check out the rest of this house. We're gonna call it home. If there's any areas we forgot to check last time, maybe we should go give them a little peek real quick.
I agree, and if we want to make a point of fortifying and making sure that nobody can sneak in and follow in behind us as we clear out this place, we can go and board up windows and secure doors that have been kicked in. Ahem, Warren, and we can do so without announcing any change to the outside world of our ownership and acquisition of the building. Also, we need a fun name.
Tindy Tavern?
Like for us, or for this edifice, for this.
For our base of
state ground?
operations, for the beginning of our conquest and our fighting party.
The Honey Pot.
I like it. That's good.
Yeah.
That is now canon. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Right. You heard the captain. Let's get inside that honey pot and lick the rim.
All right. Any area that's exposed, feel free to drag your characters around to where you'd like to go, guys.
Let's make it sweet.
Walk in. Does anything happen when we walk in?
Nope. That you have thoroughly destroyed the thing that had the enchantment on it.
The hobo alarm.
Yes.
I'm gonna walk over to this hallway and be like, "Hey, did you need a lot to see if there's a door over here?"
All right.
Listening,
Or a hallway.
listening at the secret stairway downstairs to see if I can still
Alright.
hear banging down there or not.
Roll a perception check. Warren, you see a hallway that continues to the east. There are 2 doors. You don't hear any noises in the basement area.
Right.
In case you didn't see it, there's a door here and a door here.
I saw them, my mortal enemies.
I'm going to stay at the where I'm at the staircase. So as he's probably going to make a lot of noise.
Noted. Nimbus, are you staying back in the area outside?
Maris, what are you doing?
I'm following the dwarf because I love to see him kicking these fucking doors. So.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I'll follow along too.
Okay.
It's fascinating.
I'm gonna call the turtle along and be like, "Hey, help me do what you did that one time, and my legs are too short to do the wall off the kick thing. Like, throw me into the door."
Oh, maybe you do better face first.
That's what I'm saying. I'll have the axe out, and you just throw me face first into the door.
Fishies, you grab his legs and his arms and.
All right, Maris or Nimbus, are you helping throw the dwarf through the door? Either of you?
Obviously.
Of course, yeah.
Valkorian!
All right.
Is that even a question?
So Bones.
Yeah, we're like, come on.
You're not
Bones-
gonna
Gonna
miss
say
this.
no?
Get over here.
What are you rolling next turn?
Bones, make a strength check at advantage, but because you have 2 other people helping you. Oh, jeez, Louise.
That was 18.
I'm gonna face plant this fucking door. All right, there we go.
Oh, that was 24.
All right, so with a heave and a hoe, you guys 1, 2, 3, and you throw the dwarf through the door with a resounding crash. The door shatters into a number of pieces, exposing a room beyond. The only thing of note in this room is a clump of tiny red mushrooms growing around a fireplace in a semicircle formation. Otherwise, the room appears to be bare, with the exception of the destroyed door bits along the floor here.
Look, turtle, mushrooms.
No. Nimbus, I'll pay you 2 gold to eat one of these.
Oh god. Nimbus being a trepidant investigative scholar of flora and fauna and whatnot goes, I'll give you 3 if you eat all of them.
Why don't you roll a history check for me,
Okay.
Nimbus,
Cool.
to see if you can identify these mushrooms?
Nature? Or
That's
history?
only a
Nature?
10.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it should
nature.
probably be in nature. It's
So-
still a 10.
10. Yeah, you recognize these. Actually, they're quite tasty. These mushrooms, and they're known to go really well with like in a gravy base. That's what you
Okay.
know. Nobody
So
else.
so Nimbus goes, but these could be poisonous, Bones. Why would you do this to me? Make it 5 gold.
That's
Do
suspicious
it.
as shit.
Take the bet.
Make a contested roll. Bones, make an insight check. Nimbus, roll a deception check.
I'm doing insight?
Yes.
Or, no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Mine is 11.
Mine's just a 7.
So
7-11.
he doesn't think that these are poison.
Yeah.
I know that. Okay.
Yeah, you sense that.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick up one and pick up another one, hand it to him, and then like, let's do it together.
He goes, ready? 3, 2. You are still giving me 2 gold for this, right?
Yeah.
And then he eats it. He goes, these are delicious and go well in a fine cream sauce. I'm so sorry.
God damn. They're red.
All right.
Fine way to
That's
lose
great.
2 gold.
Anything
awesome.
anything else going on in this? Dan, add 2 gold, and then Bones remove 2 gold. You guys doing anything
Perfect.
else in this room?
Is that a door?
That is a door to the east.
Oh, you know your boy's got to do it. I'm gonna open it gingerly.
Does that mean something different in Dwarven?
Yes, it means I'm gonna open it slowly and
Okay.
carefully.
The door opens. It makes a bit of a squeaking sound as it opens. You see, aside from a large amount of plaster that has fallen from the ceiling, this room is bare.
Guys, I found a bear. Oh wait, no wait. She's clear. Just walk inside the room. I'm guessing I don't see anything else in the room once I'm inside of it.
You
gonna
don't
head back
see anything
upstairs.
at your first glance. No,
Is this a fireplace over here?
that is a fireplace. Those are both
Um,
fireplaces, both in both rooms.
I'm gonna look for any shiny baubles that might spawn a horde of spiders in the fireplace.
Roll a d20 investigation check.
In the spider place, am I right? 3 plus 3, 6.
Yeah, you
3 plus
3 plus mountain. As you're sort of grasping around looking for shiny baubles, you knock a brick loose, and a cloud of old fireplace dust, charcoal and smoke kind of billows up. And as you turn around to the rest of the party, Nimbus and Maris, you see the immaculate beard of the dwarf is not blonde anymore. It's caked in dust and charcoal,
Aw.
and it's very dirty.
The house is attacking me.
So salt and pepper's good luck on you.
That's awesome.
I'll push it.
Oh, that was real good.
Thank you.
Billy, take away 10 experience.
All right,
How's
party.
Billy?
What are your actions?
All right, I say we get down there and let's deal with this while we still got light.
Yeah, we better do it. Let's
Follow
get
up.
on it.
Yep.
All right, so we will drag you all to the cellar.
Ooh, the unnamed guy is still there.
Yeah, I gotta move him real quick. Sorry.
Now it's our chance.
We can ask him his name.
And
What-
lastly, what is your name?
What I love about that is that unless specifically asked, I have no intention of revealing a name to you guys, because I think that's fucking great. Let's see. Oh, that's right. I have to Control C, Control V, Riley.
Right.
Ground floor.
I think he's got at least 20 little truth hatches we can just peel off and see what's in there. It'll be like one of them calendars around Winter Spring Festival.
Oh, the edition calendar.
Yes.
All right, so you guys all have made your way back into the cellar area, and yeah, this large room. Obviously, the beds and sea chests are tossed about quite a bit from when you guys tried to barricade the door and then unbarricade the door and then left it in a state of disrepair. And so that's where things currently are.
All right, boys.
actions.
It's going to be like Winter Spring Festival. Once we get this area over here on the other side clear, I'll break out my thieves' tools and we'll start going holiday shopping amongst everybody's personal effects in here. Until then, I recommend I can stay here and I'll cover you with my bow, and we can start letting them feed in here closer to us.
Wait, just as I'm also thinking there's that pile of acid outside. Aren't these skeletons? Couldn't we lure them into the goddamn acid and just kill them that way? We got plenty of time to do this. Why not do it the easy way?
Well, there's also the problem with them squirting out, going topside, and us having to deal with that.
We could block the exits and then feed them the way we want them to go.
is there? I don't remember why we thought they might be gold. Like, is that something we had actually solved, or was that just something
There was a
out
couple
of
of
character we
there was a
solved?
couple of pieces that you found. You found a note in one of the books that talked about the alchemical recipes to make gold, and then there was a note about something gold, something skeletons.
If these skeletons are gold, we might not be able to do as much damage with our conventional weapons. Maybe acid might be something we could use against them. But that's just my thoughts.
And maybe we shouldn't throw a new bounty of gold into some acid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Valcorin, I did hear what you said. Start making Thieves checks, so it'll be sleight of hand plus your proficiency bonus as you use your Thieves tools on one of these chests. There are 10 of them scattered about the floor.
Okay.
Mr.
Totally missed that.
Mr. Bones, if you are so keen on the acid, perhaps you could set up a trap of some sort if we need to, retreat.
Well, let's think about this. If we close off the exit and we get screwed, we can't leave. So,
What's your pluses on those leaves? At +5?
+8. Sleight of hand is +6.
So 5 successes so far. Keep going.
Well, no, so the final number there, I've got the plus added in there.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you've done it on all 5 of them so far. Keep going. Okay, 6. That's a fail. That's a fail.
What are the chances?
That's a pass.
Ooh, that looks like it was going to be another one.
More. That's a pass. So you're able to pop the lock on 8 of them. 2 of them, unfortunately, as you're going through it, the locks jam as you're trying to unlock them, and you're unable to open them with your picks. I need you to roll. So that's 8, right? So, so you find 56 gold.
Right.
And man, that's a lot of silver. 8
Does he get lock picking XP?
120 silver.
Okay.
And then 2 of them you were unable to open, of course. The rest of the party, as he's going through all this, what actions were you taking? Because that took some time for him to do that. Probably took about 20 minutes. So during that time, what was the rest of the party doing in this area?
Can I move the table to be like sort of wedged from like there to there, and they could take cover behind it, and I could stand like there?
Yeah. So you want to take this large table here that you guys had already moved earlier, and you're just trying to
it was over
jam
here.
it between here. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna draw a shape between here, so you're doing it
Like enough to give them cover and like really hone down the the choke point to right there.
Okay, let's do that.
I like it.
yeah, and me and Warren can get over it pretty easily. I'm asking.
Yeah, it's a normal table. So I mean, it's like a meta, but it's like a DC 5 just to step on top of it. Like if you're trying to do it fast, if you're trying to do it slow, there's no difficulty.
What if we like flipped it? Well, I'm thinking like, what if we flipped it up like you do in like a gunfight in a movie?
Yep. Yeah, completely ineffectual in those Western movies. Yes.
Yeah.
Those
I don't hope
large,
they don't-
large ball rounds.
Maybe they don't have guns.
There was no plywood back then, so
Yeah.
I mean
That's real wood.
all oak.
They were also 700-pound tables.
So strength check to lift a 700-pound. No,
Yeah.
you're fine. Yeah, I understand what you're trying to do there. That's fine. No. Oh no. Really?
He said no first. It counts.
Yeah. So along the way, you drop the table a little bit, and it lands on Warren's toe. And ow, mother! And you.
Motherfucker!
So the table's wedged in there. You guys are arrayed like this. What are your next actions?
So I'm standing on the bed, bow drawn, looking at the door, ready to just start taking shots, going over.
I'm
General.
gonna suggest. How about? So if I'm right here, are they gonna have to do like checks to shoot past me every time?
No.
Okay.
There's no players. Players don't block other players.
I'm gonna suggest to Warren. How about we take the front up here, and then if we need to retreat, we can go back over to the table. But let's just take a peek inside.
Yeah.
You come up here with me.
You seem like a steady lad too. Why don't I recommend that I'm the one that opens the door? I suspect I could take a few more hits than you.
Yeah.
Some offense intended.
Nimbus and Maris, are you guys comfortable with your positions?
Nimbus, why don't you come in bed with me and see what kind of magic you can make here with your squirts?
Dan Boyle strongly disapproves, but Nimbus is all on board. and happy to be making a compatriot. So Nimbus jumps in next to him and has his shield and hammer at the ready.
Oh shit! Am I at 10 HP right now? Why am I at 10 HP?
Everyone should be full health.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, roll. Do a long rest on your D&D Beyond, and that'll recover your hit points.
It's at the top of the UI there. Bones.
Got it.
All right. Is everyone in the position they want to be in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will ready a Sacred Splash on the first hostile creature that comes through that door.
All right. So the door in front of you, Warren, it has it's got a big piece of wood and brackets and chains wrapped around it, and it says, in a sign, danger, and common across it in chalk. So.
How are the chains attached?
They're just wrapped around. There's no locking mechanism or anything. So essentially, there's iron brackets coming out. There is a piece of wood, a beam sitting in between the iron brackets, and then there's chains sort of looped around the brackets and the wood to hold the wood on top of the brackets.
And that door will open in, right? Like I can see the hinges.
It opens out towards you guys, which is why the bracket holds it in place.
So I could edge my shield under the wood and flip the wood up and have my shield in front of me for when it eventually potentially opens.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, that's how I'm gonna do that.
Okay, are you opening the door?
I'm gonna turn around with my shield edged under the wood and be like, "Are you fucks ready to do this or what?"
Boy.
Oui.
We.
Let's do it.
So
slash ready check.
You unwind the chain around the door. Cling, 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 cling.
Nice combat music.
You lift the wooden beam out of place, set it to the side, and open the door. And as the door opens,
you see Kathy Lee Gifford in a sweatshop room of labor.
Light spilling from the large room behind you barely shows that the chamber is only about 12 feet across, and the corners are filled with shadow. What little you can see is dingy and dirty. And as the light enters the room from various positions in the darkness, shapes start to move and form. 6 skeletons rise, look towards you, and raise their arms and begin to approach.
And that's blasted.
Can I have planned to flip that up and then kick the door open and step back 5 feet?
I'm assuming that where you're standing is where you want to be. Is there? We at this point, seeing them, I will give you a chance at the first round to do something very quickly.
Okay.
So if you want to step back 5 feet, that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll say that that's what you've done.
Cool.
And this is where we will leave it this week, gentlemen, because this combat's going to take quite some time, and it's already 10:30, which is our quitting time.
Oh, but this music. So good.
We can. If you guys want to go, give me a thumbs up if you want to go. Okay.
Get you ready for next week.
Yeah, let's jump right back into smashing skellies. Yeah.
Yes. So where we are, once again, I want to thank the party for returning. Welcome back, everyone. It's so good to have everyone here. I know it's a bit of an adjustment to get back into the swing of things, so we'll see more French accents on the next stream, I'm sure. It's not really
That was
French.
beautiful.
Was that
That
good?
was
Okay.
good. I was impressed.
Nailed it.
That's good read.
I thought it sounded more like that salesman from Phantom Menace than anything else.
Watto.
Watto.
Yep.
It sounded more Watto than French, but that's fine.
That's
So
what we've been going for.
what happened tonight?
nailed
The
it.
party.
So
The party.
Jewish.
We opened with the party at the Wicker Goat. They talked about the activities throughout the day. They went to sleep that night. They woke up the next morning. Went and discovered the location of the weapons cache from Jask. Then they went to the council chambers. Met with the council. They met with Edda Oeland, Gellin Primewater, Eleander Fireborn, Monastrad Steelbreaker, and I'm doing all this from memory, by the way. I'm proud of myself. Anders Solomon, and they all sat and gave the party the mission to investigate this ship from the information from the unnamed prisoner. Once they're able to handle the situation, these pirates are doing some sort of weapon smuggling to some lizard folk, it appears. Rumors that the prisoner had heard. The party is going to be granted the haunted house, the areas surrounding it, the boat, and anything that's on the boat if they're able to deal with this. The town council will provide 2 guards to sail the ship that they'll be provided, and then the party decided to head back out to the haunted house to clear their future property of these denizens of the dark, these skeletons. And that is where we will close this evening. Want to thank everyone for coming out. We had quite a few viewers in the channel tonight. Want to thank folks for following along and chatting with us. Really appreciate that. And really looking forward to kicking this next phase of the arc off with killing these skeletons, and then on to more of the Salt Marsh. So yeah, thanks to the cast. Great episode, and this is Ramshackle Production signing off.